Good morning everyone, and welcome from the Wicklow Mountains. I'm at Barvore Car Park, from where I'll be starting a climb of Lugnaquilla mountain, which is the highest mountain in Leinster. The pandemic-related restrictions in Ireland are gradually being eased. The restrictions on inter-county travel were lifted over a month ago at the time of recording for this video. We start our climb by crossing the Avonbeg River behind me, which runs past the car park. Now there are several routes you can take up to the summit, and rather than a route entailing coming back down the same way as I go up, I'm going to take something of a looping route. I'm going to head up the laneway behind me until we're approaching Rock Glen, and then we'll climb up a slope which would have to be taken head on until we pass a small lake known as Arts Loch, and from there we'll be heading towards another popular route up to Lugnaquilla known as the Zigzags. From there, I'm anticipating a relatively straightforward route the rest of the way up to the summit, which according to my research will give some spectacular views all around. The route back down will take me through Rock Glen and past Glen waterfall, and then I'll eventually merge onto the laneway that I took on the way up from the car park. Something else I discovered in my research is that Lugnaquilla is also the source of the Slaney River, which flows through Wexford town before it empties out into the Irish Sea. This is Glenmalure hostel, which is a small house that dates back to the early 19th century and is now used as a youth hostel. The unique thing about this hostel is that there's no running water or electricity. With no mobile signal in this neck of the woods, Glenmalure can serve as an ideal place for a digital detox. Here we are at the summit of Lugnaquilla, the highest mountain in Leinster, at 925 metres. The summit is on something of a plateau, so you will have to do a nice bit of walking around to see more of the surrounding landscape. On the northwest you'll see the North Prison. I don't know how it got that name, and on the southeast you'll see the South Prison. Also on the west is the Glen of Amal, which is where a military range is located. The Defence Forces facilitate some hill walker access along designated walking routes on days when no live firing takes place, for the benefit of those electing to approach Lug from the west. However, these are usually off limits to the public during the week, when live firing exercises take place. That said, the Defence Forces usually puts on its website information on closures of the walking routes through the Glen of Amal. As you can see, the route I took steers clear of the Glen of Amal. On an exceptionally clear day, you might be able to see Galtymore and Mount Brandon, which have the second and fourth highest prominences in the country. You might also be able to see Snowdon, which is the highest mountain in Wales across the Irish Sea, although Ben Nevis, which is the highest mountain in Scotland, might be a little too far to see from here. Hill walking, especially mountain climbing, can be seen as a good exercise in seeing things from a different perspective. We're often so used to seeing the summits of high mountains from ground level, so it's not a bad thing to see the world from the other way around, i.e. down here from up there. One thing I have noted regarding hill walking is in deciding what items you really need. As a minimum, I would carry my SLR camera and a few lenses, 2 if I intend to take some behind the scenes shots, maybe my filters if it's going to be sunny and I need to polarize the sky to make it that little bit bluer, or if I want to dim down the sky with the graduated filter. And of course a bottle of water and just enough food to stave off hunger. Carrying too much stuff obviously has its disadvantages, not least of these, more effort being required to haul all that stuff up the mountain, leaving you breathless when you reach the summit, your heart pounding, and you're struggling to hold a camera steady. That said, there were many a time when I said to myself I could have done with such and such an item that I didn't have with me. With all that said, it probably won't be the last time I'll come up here, i.e. to the Wicklow Mountains, even if not necessarily to climb Lug. Here's where I'm going to end this video. You should head over to my Flickr page where you'll see plenty of images I've taken down the years in what you could call a mixed bag of genres. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to watch, and hopefully I'll see you all again in the next one.